Imagine a game with 14 yellow cards, and not just about the cards, but the game had so much drama in it, that the whole football world named it the most violent game in the history of the World Cup. You know how the World Cup is? It's the biggest tournament in football, the biggest stage. Different teams come here for different reasons, and the recent edition, the 2022 World Cup, was just as intense.
And in 2022, the world champions are Argentina.
Some teams came herself to make a statement for the first time in the football world, and some teams like Spain, Brazil, England, and Germany came here to reclaim their lost glory. Some teams like Croatia and Colombia came to complete their fairy tale story, and a team like France, they're just here to remind the world that they are the best. So you get the point. For every team, each match meant something. They had a point to prove, a message to pass. Everything was intense when Argentina and the Netherlands met in the quarterfinal. They let all hell break loose. You see, Argentina and the Netherlands have been rivals for many years, and every encounter is like a mini war. But this time, it wasn't mini in any way. But before both teams met in the quarterfinal, they obviously had to go through a couple of opponents first. The Netherlands had a more bright start. Their first game was against the African champions, Senegal.
De Jong, goalkeepers come, and Holland lead!
Yes, I know, a tough way to start a campaign, but the Netherlands won 2-0, with both goals coming late into the game. Gakpo scored first in the 84th minute, and Klaassen in 90+9. Their second game was against Ecuador, and it ended 1-1, with Gakpo once again scoring for his team. And their last group stage match was a 2-0 win over host nation Qatar. And guess what? Gakpo once again scored the first goal, and De Jong also got his name on the score sheet. The Netherlands went through the group stage unbeaten, unlike Argentina, who lost their opening game against a much weaker side, Saudi Arabia. Messi scored a penalty in the 10th minute to quickly put Argentina in front, but Saudi Arabia replied with 2 goals of their own in the second half to win the game 2-1. Bad start, but Argentina was able to redeem themselves against Mexico with a convincing 2-0 victory, with Messi and Enzo Fernandez scoring both goals of the game. Their last group stage game was against Poland. Argentina needed to win, or at least draw, to smuggle their way to the round of 16, and Argentina, with another 2-0 victory, got themselves into the round of 16. With both Argentina and the Netherlands in the round of 16, things were now serious. Both teams knew all they had to do to meet again was win their round of 16 games, and notice how I use the word again? Well, that's because these teams are no strangers to themselves in the World Cup. Where do you think their rivalry started in the first place? It all dates back to 1974 when these guys first met in the World Cup. This time it was just a group stage match, and with Johan Cruyff scoring twice in that game, the Netherlands thrashed Argentina 4-0. They met once again in the next World Cup. That's the 1978 edition, and this was where things got heated. First, this World Cup was hosted by Argentina, and the Netherlands came in determined to win. They fought their way to the final, and guess who they met in the final? The hosts, Argentina. A lot of people already believed that Argentina, because they were the host nation, cheated their way to the final, and now with the Netherlands being the last nation to conquer, they didn't hesitate to do what they had already been doing. Argentina won 3-1, and that's where the issue started. The Netherlands didn't feel like they lost, but they were cheated. Both teams met again in 1998 and 2006, but there were all group stage matches. Argentina won the 1998, and in 2006, it ended goalless. But Argentina had the upper hand, as that result out then on top of the group, and the Dutchmen finished second. They met again in 2014. This time, it was in the semi-final. It was an intense game, and at the end of the 90 minutes and extra time, the game was goalless. It went into penalties, and Argentina won 4-2. They went on to face Germany in the final, while the Netherlands settled for third place. All this while, Argentina has had the upper hand. The Netherlands only won once, and that was in 1974. Their meeting in 2022 was the Netherlands' chance to finally defeat the Argentines. And this seemed like the perfect opportunity because a lot was at stake here. Anybody that wins would continue to the semis. If the Netherlands would break the hearts of the Argentines, it's now. And for Argentina, it wasn't just about continuing their streak on the Netherlands, but it was their captain's last chance at the World Cup title. Even if you don't watch football, you know who Messi is, and you know his rivalry with Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT debate. While it looks like Messi has better stats in domestic games, CR7 is the king of Europe. So the debate just keeps going on and on and on. The one thing none of these guys had managed to win was the World Cup. Anyone who wins this has won the GOAT debate, or at least that's what we thought at the time. With both men getting to the end of their careers and the 2022 World Cup looking like the last one for both of them, the Argentina team knew winning the World Cup was the best parting gift they could give Messi. And they were not going to let the Netherlands stop that from happening. Both teams won their round of 16 games and, of course, prepared for one more grand showdown. But before we move on, let me remind you that you haven't subscribed to Total Footy yet. What's holding you back? Please smash that subscribe button and let's get back into the video. A few days before the match, the Netherlands coach, Louis Van Gaal, said a couple of things that only added to the heat and hype around the game. The first thing he said was, "We've got a score to settle with Argentina for what happened 2 World Cups ago." He was referring to the 2014 World Cup and how they lost in the penalty shootout. And yeah, we get why he said that he wants to win. And considering how both teams performed so far, it looked like the Netherlands finally had the upper hand. But he went ahead to say another thing that made the whole situation way worse. He called Messi the weak link in the Argentina squad. Wow, he just called Messi a weak link. Messi! Messi isn't just Argentina's hero and most important player, but is considered the greatest player of all time by millions of football fans around the world. So, what exactly was Louis Van Gaal on? Did he say that because he meant it, or it was just an attempt to get into Messi's head? But anyway, he was set for the heat coming. The match began and Argentina quickly took the fight to the Netherlands. Controlling the game and attacking with all their might. The Netherlands, on the other hand, kind of started on the back foot and relied on counterattacks, but for the first 30 minutes, both defenses remained solid. Yeah, there were goal-scoring threats here and there from both sides, but the games remained leveled and to an extent, normal. But things changed in the 35th minute. Messi received the ball in the middle of the pitch, dribbled toward the Netherlands post, and dropped down the craziest defense-splitting passes. The ball found its way to Molina, who was one-on-one with the Netherlands goalie. Of course, he converted and Argentina went 1 goal up. Everything still looked pretty normal, well, except the fact that Walter Samuel, Argentina's assistant coach, received a yellow card. But besides that, everything looked normal so. But in the 42nd minute, we started seeing emotions come into play. Acuna tackled Dumfries carelessly, he got a yellow card for that. Timber probably felt the yellow was not enough, so he pushed Acuna, which only earned him a yellow also. To be honest, that is probably the dumbest booking in the history of the World Cup. Just 3 minutes after that, another yellow card was given, and it went to Romero for using his hands. And in 45 plus 1 minute, another yellow was given, and this time it went to Wout Weghorst on the bench. I guess he didn't want to wait till he gets subbed in to get in on the action. Another dumb yellow, I must say. As the second half began, the Netherlands came in more fired up. Doing all they could to get an equalizer, Argentina were also not relenting, doing all they could to cement their lead. In the 60th minute, Messi attempted another solo run, but Virgil and Dumfries brought him down just outside the box. Luckily, it was just a free kick. But 11 minutes later, Dumfries went in for another tackle and it was on Acuna inside the box. A penalty was given and Messi stepped up to finish the job. He scored the second goal of the game, but what really mattered here was the way he celebrated, cupping his ears and doing that right in front of the Netherlands bench. You know, right in front of the man that called him the weak link. The last time Van Gaal saw the celebration when he was still coaching Juan Roman Riquelme at Barcelona. Juan is also Argentine, and he and Van Gaal had a major fallout. So yeah, Messi knew exactly what he was doing pulling the celebration, and so did Van Gaal. About 4 minutes after this goal, a pitch invader came in. Of course, that was quickly attended to, and on the side of the Dutchman, tempers were already flying. In the 74th minute, a cross came in. Luke de Jong and Emiliano Martinez went for the ball. Martinez won it, but it led to a confrontation between both men. Memphis and Lissandro got involved and both received a yellow each. With few minutes left to play, Van Gaal pulled his last trick. He brought in 6'6" striker Weghorst. The game plan was simple: cross all balls into the box toward the tall striker, and it worked because in no time, Weghorst scored. The tension became worse and another player, Barguez, picked up a yellow. In the 88th minute, Paredes not only fouled Ake, but for some reason blasted the ball into the Dutchman's bench. The whole bench rushed to the pitch, ready to take it out in Paredes, and as expected, the Argentines rushed in to protect Paredes. The ref managed to contain the situation, get the game going again, and added 10 more minutes to make up for the time wasted. This was enough time for Weghorst to score his second goal as he converted a sneaky free-kick pass from Koopmeiners. The game went into extra time. Argentina was once again attacking with all they had, but nothing worked as the game went to penalties, and when it comes to penalties, we know how Emiliano Martinez is. King of mind games, and he did this so well that the Netherlands lost their first two while Argentina scored theirs. The Netherlands scored their third and fourth, and Argentina scored their third and lost their fourth after the Netherlands players started taunting them. The score was 3-2, it was getting close again. Luke de Jong and Lautaro Martinez both scored the last penalties for their teams, and that saw Argentina win the whole thing. And just when we thought the whole drama was over, Messi shocked everyone. In a post-match interview, Messi spotted Weghorst staring at him from a distance and said, "Que me das, bobo," meaning, "What are you looking at, fool?" Messi apologized for that later though. He said he only said that out of the heat of the moment. This match got the nickname Battle of Lusail. And that wraps up the video, the most brutal match in World Cup history. Drop a like if you enjoyed it.